Welcome to UFC 180 full fight card predictions review, highlighting who won and how they won. How did Colonel Jack do with his predictions versus Big Dog Jimmy? Who had more? Well, right off the bat, we'll tell you, I had 7 right out of the night, and I got a few wrong, because there's 11 fights, and I got 7 right, so you do the math, that's 4. Big Dog Jimmy only got 4 right. One of the fights, I got 100% right on my prediction, and that fight was the co-main event with Calvin Gastelum with a submission in the first round, so that's pretty awesome. So real quick, we had Marcos Beltran versus Marlon Vera. I picked that one wrong. Big Dog Jimmy got that right. He picked Beltran to win. I picked Vera to win with a first round KO, TKO, but he didn't, unfortunately. Hopefully we get to see the guy fight again. He's got, an emotional story behind him, and he's an awesome guy. He's fighting for his daughter, and he wants to make it so she can fucking smile. So, let's all give this guy our support and back up Marlon Vera, because he definitely deserves our support in the UFC universe and, whatnot. So next we go to the next early prelim fight, and we have Henry Bernanos versus Guido Cinchetti. And I got this fight right, but I didn't pick the finish properly. I picked this one for Bernanos to win, and I picked him to win by submission over Guido Cinchetti. He won it in the second round, which I picked correctly. But then in the next fight on the prelims, the first fight of the actual prelims, we had, Gabriel Benitez versus Humberto Brown, and it looked like Humberto Brown during the fight in the second round, like he shit himself. If you go back and watch the fight, you'll see a big brown fucking stain on the back of his pants. So I think the dude shit himself, and he came out in the third round and got knocked out, submitted. It was a knockout submission, because Benitez came in and blah blah, and he choked him out. I got a video with a reenactment that you should check out, and it shows you exactly how it went down. So I got that one right. Well, actually, no, I got that one wrong, because I picked Brown to win by decision. He almost made it to the, almost made it to the distance, but in the beginning of the third round, it was over for him after he shit himself in the second round. So Big Dog Jimmy, he got 2 right, and I got 1 right there. And then the next fight, Evil Eye. We had Jessica Evil Eye beat Leslie Smith with a TKO KO doctor stoppage due to her ear almost falling off. It was gross, just like bleh. Big Dog Jimmy was like, I want to lick the ear. He was all jumping up and down. He's like, I'll go help her out. I want to help her out. He picked her to win. He wanted to go in there and be a doctor and stitch her ear up and let her fight. But so now we're 2 for 2. I picked it for submission win in the second round, but I got that partially right. So, and then next up we have the Ultimate Fighter Latin America bantamweight finale with Alejandro Perez versus Jose Quineros, and he ends up my pick. I picked Jose to win. He lost. It was 3 times the charm for Perez. He wins, and he gets the contract with the UFC. Big Dog Jimmy picked him to win. He picked Perez to win, and so therefore he's got 3 and I got 2. And then here is where I start to go on a roll, where I had picked Yair Rodriguez to win over Leonardo Morales. I picked him to win it in the first round by a TKO finish, but he did win it by unanimous decision from the judges, from what I remember. So I got that one right for who won it anyways. And then next up we have the main card for the pay-per-view of UFC 180, Ed Garcia versus Hector Ubiña. Hector Ubiña won by submission in the second round. Or was it the first round? What the hell did I just hit? Yeah, it was the first round. I picked Ubiña to win by TKO KO, but in the first round, but I got 2 out of 3 right on that part. So then that's Ubiña. So I got 4 right, and Big Dog Jimmy's got 3 right there. And then now we move up to the next fight, where we have Augusto Dodger Montano versus Chris Heatherly, and Montano wins it in the first round with the TKO KO. You know, and I picked Montano to win it by KO TKO in the third round. Man, I should have gone with the first round. That would have been a perfect one right there. But he wins it, and that gives me 5 wins versus 3 for Big Dog Jimmy. The next one I got it completely wrong, where we had Ricardo the Bully Lamas versus Dennis the Menace Bermudez. I picked Bermudez to win in the second round with the TKO, but we end up having Ricardo the Bully Lamas win it in the first round by submission. Now we go up to the co-main event, and I got that one perfect, 100%. El dente. Big Dog Jimmy was like, damn it! Raw! He won. He tried biting me and shit. You know, it was pretty crazy. So, in the first round, Kelvin Gastelum knocks out. It's a knockout submission for freaking Kelvin Gastelum with 15 seconds left on the clock in the first round over Jake Ellenberger. So I got that one right. Ellenberger submission first round. And then we go to the main event, Werdum versus Hunt for the interim heavyweight championship. And this one ends in the second round with a TKO knockout by Werdum. Werdum wins. Werdum knocks him out. Yeah. So he ends up taking Mark Hunt out. I picked Werdum to win by submission in the first round. I thought he was, you know, but hey, I picked it right. I picked the right guy to win, and that's what matters the most, is that I get the right guy to win. So 7 out of 11 is pretty damn good. Subscribe to Colonel Jack's Destination. Like the video. Leave me a comment down below. If you want to dislike the video for some reason, be my guest and dislike it. But I'd rather you be my guest and like the video and subscribe to Colonel Jack's Destination. And you know, for anybody who's a hater or you know, or really like doesn't like me for some fucking reason, you know, I'm not begging for views. I'm not begging for likes. I'm not begging for subscribers. I'm recommending that they do this just because it's part of me being me, branding, you know, just me being me. So I'm Colonel Jack, and this is my best friend, Big Dog Jimmy. You got a problem with me, you got a problem with Big Dog Jimmy, you got a problem with Big Dog Jimmy, you got a problem with me. You know, Crow Cop, he left me a comment with a mysterious ghost account, and I called him out, and he hasn't said nothing back. I'm still waiting on a video reply from Crow Cop telling me whether it was him or not. I want to see whether Crow Cop really talked shit to me about my video with Mark Hunt with a walk-off knockout over Roy Nelson, Big Country. Well, this time, it was Werdum who knocked out Hunt. How about them apples? I can't wait for Velasquez versus Werdum, and then I'm hoping that Hunt gets the winner of that, whether we get a Velasquez, you know, versus Hunt, or a Werdum versus Hunt part 2. It's going to be awesome. Cannot wait. Maybe it'll be somebody else that'll fight one of the two guys when they end up unifying the titles together, because the real champ is Cain Velasquez. The interim champion is FABRICIO Werdum. If Cain Velasquez cannot come back within a certain amount of time, he gets stripped completely of the title, just like Dominic Cruz did. Dominic the Dominator's back, and he is going to end up taking his title back from TJ Dillashaw, but that's another video for another time. Subscribe to Colonel Jack's Destination. You guys all rock. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Have a great day.